Hello and welcome back to the basement. Clickbait headline aside, I do have 7 tools that you probably don't have in your workshop. Well, 6 of them you don't, 1 you probably do, that I find invaluable. I'm not going to say you have to have them. I'm going to say take a look at what you've got around you and how you can use it. Some of these are tools, some of these are jigs. They kind of work together. So, number 1. Paper, pencil. I know CAD is the latest thing and everybody's using it, but that is my high-tech drawing for the cabinet that you saw me build for my bathroom upstairs. I don't need high-tech CAD. I need measurements and a basic layout of how it's going to go together. The nice thing about this is I can erase, I can scribble down, I can just make a list of stuff real quick, and I can leave this in my shop and not worry about it getting destroyed. If I destroy a piece of paper, if I destroy my computer. So, number 1, paper and pencil. Number 2, push sticks. These you've probably got in some form or another. They have, you can buy ones from the store, you can buy all sorts of different kinds. I prefer to make my own. A couple of reasons. 1, I can pick the size that I want out of scrap. And 2, as you can see on this one, sometimes I'm cutting very, very narrow stuff, and that goes through the saw. Well, I destroy it, I throw it away. I make a new one in about 30 seconds, and I'm good to go again. The other thing I have with mine is instead of a feather gauge on my table saw, that the fingers that push up against the gate, those won't fit on my old saw. I've got a stick. This is about due for a new one. It's getting a little short. But this, as I'm going through, this is pushing, and this is pushing up against the gate before the wood hits the blade. And when you get to that last little bit, if I need to, and I'm doing a very fine cut, I can run this through the blade and then throw this away and make a new one. Okay? Making your own tools is something you should get into the habit of doing, I think. Make it to fit you, to do what you need it to do. If you're uncomfortable with what you buy from the store, you can design your own. Number 3, spacer jigs. You know how when you're nailing boards together and you can't quite be sure where the center line is that you want to drill into? So 2x4, oh, I've got this on top. And where's the center of my board? There's the center. That's 3/4. Oh, look. I've got a piece of 1x under here, and I want to make sure that my drywall screws go into the right place. Right there. There's my center line. Okay. And I can do this before it's sitting on there. I can just go, okay. Now, line it up, and I can just go pop, 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 pop right down that line. These are just pieces of scrap. You can make them to any size you want. So if you're working with true 1-inch, or if you're working with 3/8 wood, or 2 1/4, whatever, cut your jig, and then save them. You never know when you'll need them again. Number 4, a solitary chopstick. Except it's not a chopstick in this case. It's a hole finder and hole aligner. Okay, so I've got two pieces of wood. They got holes. I need to line them up. Get it down in there. My holes are now lined up. I can pop my bolt down through there, no problem. This is what you do with your leftover chopsticks. When you lose a chopstick, take the other one down to your wood shop and use it. Five, toothbrush. Don't throw away your old toothbrushes. They are great for all sorts of things. They're great for after they've been washed, for using to wash your dishes and get down into the corners of your pots and pans. In the shop, I use them for a number of things. One is if I've got something that is tight like that, I can get down into that corner and clean out any sawdust, any dirt, glue, anything that's down in there. Very good for that. It's also, if you do any refinishing work and you are stripping paint off of old hardware, or if you're using like zip strip or one of those things on old wood to get down into the corners, again, you can get down in there, just clean that off. Okay, taking the paint out of screw heads, those old slotted screws that have, you know, a 1/4 inch of landlord white paint on them. Zip strip, toothbrush, cleans it right up. Number 6, in the same vein, old dental tools. Next time you go to the dentist and you're getting your teeth cleaned, ask the hygienist if they've got any old broken dental picks. Okay? These things are amazing for getting into corners when you are doing woodworking, to get in and clean out for refinishing, to clean out the old paint and get into those really tight joints and corners. For if you're doing woodworking properly, to get down and clean burrs out from inside very tight spaces. They come in this wide variety of shapes and sizes, and I use mine so much when I'm refinishing. So, dental picks. I think we're up to 6. This one's going to be a little odd. This is a ruler. This is a printer's ruler. Okay? And it's got 4 different measurements on it. It has imperial, here inches. It has metric. Okay, we've got metric over here. It has point. There are 6 points to an inch. So if you need to divide up, say, 1/3 of an inch, points. Okay. And then, pica. Those are pica, 6 pica. And then you've got points. And points are, I got to look at this again, 72 points to an inch. You want to get real fine right there. And the joy of it is it has this nice little block, so you can just mark, hook on, go. Okay. This one's 18 inch. They come in 12 inch also. It is just a wonderful little tool. And because it is metal, it stands up very well. Okay. And it is more rigid than your tape measure. You don't have to worry about, your tape measure creeps back on you, or it flops over the end and then the tip flips. Right here. This baby right here. And the last one is one that everybody has and uses for lots of different things. Your blue tape. Okay? And for me, I use blue tape differently than most of the people that I see on YouTube. I use it for primarily 2 things. One, marking my pieces. So a Sharpie, piece of blue tape, and I, boom, slap it down on the table, write what it is. I can stack my pieces off to the side, and when my top and my sides are just a 1/4 inch difference, but that 1/4 inch makes a difference, my little blue tape nips me and pulls off. You're not having to erase marks that are on the wood. Wonderful. The other way that I use it is on my table saw sometimes, but mostly my bandsaw. When I need to make cuts of something like dowels, when I'm cutting 1 inch of dowel, I can't put up a gate to cut 1 inch off the end of a dowel multiple times. So measure out your 1 inch, put a piece of blue tape down. This is your cut, this is your gate. So you can sign it up and zip, 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 and there you go. So those are my go-to tools that I don't think most people have or use in the way that I use them. So take a look around your shop, take a look around your house, and figure out what tools can you make to make your job easier.